Hello, 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 and welcome to another look through the Normandy window. This week, the chainsaws all get a touch up. The compost gets a fill up. My freezer gets souped up. My good karma gets a lift up. The repointing gets a start up. But first off, we pick up where we left off last week, back at the well. Well, it was two decaying ivy-clad barrels that really weren't doing anything. They're now a source of soil. I'm not going to completely level them because I will come back to them for soil. I'm really pleased with the well. I didn't even know the well had a base, so that looks 1,000 times better. Okay, so unfortunately I didn't get round to the fourth job from yesterday, and that was to move this pile. A man came yesterday and looked at where I want to put, here comes the rain, where I want to put the pond, gave me a thumbs up, said to send you an email. Now the plan is we're going to use the rainwater which comes down to there, and then I guess I want a straight line almost to where the two perimeters of the land meet, and unfortunately this is slap dab in the way. Yeah, here's the rain. Let's get inside. So I think I said in the last video that the chain on my chainsaw is getting blunt, and accordingly it's probably getting dangerous. So there are a few jobs I'd like to do today, but I'm going to put those to one side and I'm going to do some maintenance on the 4 chainsaws I now possess. 4 chainsaws. This is the one I've been using. It leaks oil and the chain is blunt. That's my chainsaw from England, and I know the chain is blunt. 2 in the middle. I know nothing about them. Let's investigate further. Okay, in fact, let's start with this one. It has no chain. If we can find one, a sharp one, we should have a fully functioning chainsaw. Chain is back on the blade. It's filled with oil. Let's see if it works. Yeah, I would say that is as blunt as the one I've been using. I'm pleased to have got the chain on it. Let's see what else we can do. Let's look at the chainsaw I brought over from England. The first thing I can see is it's dry as a bone. It needs oil. Chainsaw 2, as remembered, blunt. Moving on. I've got high hopes for number 3. Chainsaw 3. The guy who serviced my lawnmowers gave me this because I gave him some parts and spares for chainsaws. You can see it has got the shortest lead of any chainsaw I've ever come across. So I've had to attach 4 extension leads to it. Don't do that, but we're only doing this for a test. That's not a viable excuse. I am hoping though that because it was given to me by someone who services chainsaws, it will be a good chainsaw. And if it works well, I'll buy a long extension lead for it. Okay, it is another wet, grey day in Normandy. So I think it's a potter about inside Sunday. And the first thing I'm going to do, I need to batch cook a soup. So I've started off. That is some chicken fat from a roast chicken. Okay, that oil has actually started smoking. It's probably a little hotter than I need it, but I'm going to add one, to be honest, I thought small butternut squash. And we're going to start browning that, get a bit of caramelisation on it. And then I've also seasoned it with salt and pepper. Okay, you can see they are starting to get a bit of colour now. So to that I'm going to add a handful of carrots. Okay, and then I need to start adding some liquid. So I'm going to go in with a tin of chopped tomatoes. I like to add a bit of tomato ketchup, and this was the end of the bottle, so I've loosened it up with some water, and I'm just going to add that. And then 2 more cans of water. And then we're going to bring that back to the boil. So that has come back to the boil. I'm going to add some flavourings. I'm going to add, that's like half a teaspoon of Raja 100% chili powder. I've gone wrong with this before. I was putting heaped teaspoons. It's so strong. So just about half a teaspoon of that. Heaped teaspoon of Madras curry powder. Same again of turmeric. Love turmeric. So good for you as well. And then a dessert spoon of Madras curry paste. Two more cans of water. I've just looked, they're 400 grams, 400 millilitres, those cans. And then the other ingredient I'm going to add now is my potatoes. And then the last of my ingredients, 1 onion. What I would usually do is roast a chicken and add the meat of the chicken to the soup. I forgot to get a chicken, so this is just going to be veg soup. Another 2 cans of water. Then I'm going to bring it up to a boil, turn it down to a simmer, and then leave it probably for simmering for 2 hours. So I've just taken those vegetable peelings out to put them on the compost. I don't know if you can see, I haven't just had a senior accident. Look, walking through wet grass, it's over the knee. That's easy 2.5 feet. And then the other thing I tend to do when the weather isn't great for being outside is edit my videos. So this is nice actually. This is my son's gaming desk. which he doesn't use now. So it's great for me to be able to actually sit at a desk and edit. I use a software program called DaVinci Resolve, which is quite clever in what it can do, but isn't so complicated as to be unusable for a layman. The majority of my footage is shot on my phone. It's just a Samsung Galaxy. And I will call out, this is my drone, which, you know, a lot of people have said has improved the quality of the videos. It's a DJI Neo, and I bought it from eBay because I refused to use Amazon. And when I got it, it didn't work, and I had to, it was still under warranty. I had to return it to DJI, and although I bought it secondhand, DJI sent me a completely new drone, and I still couldn't get it to work. It works just from my phone. It's an app on the phone. Again, very simple to use. And all the staff, the customer service staff I've spoken to at DJI, absolutely out of this world. So for product, customer service, and ease to do business with, I can't rate them high enough. I really can't. So yeah, I'm just editing a video now, and that will be going up. I think at the moment you are probably 2 weeks behind me. I wonder how the soup's getting on. And I have to say, that's delicious. Bon appetit, mes amis. So today I am loading up on my Good Karma. There was someone on Facebook was looking for people to help them unload a container. They've just arrived in France. Be a better world if we all help each other, so that's what I'm going to do today. And it's empty, and the lesson is many hands make light work. Well, back in the coppice, and I think our friend or friends has been back, and I think I agree. I think it is boar. I just get the snuffle impression is going on here. I need to get a trail camera and see if we can't get some footage. Oh, they can be big, boar. Okay, I need to go and see a friend. We're going to sort out some scaffolding, which will be going up on the outside of my house in order for us to do the repointing, or more likely in order for me to do the repointing. But first, I've just stumbled on these. Absolutely no idea what they are, but there's lots of them. One of the great things about France, what you can do, if you find fungi, you can take it to a pharmacy and they will tell you what it is and whether you should be avoiding or enjoying it. So I think tomorrow I might do that. The apples appear to be coming on, certainly on that tree. It's only small, I'm not going to get many, but they look good. I'm getting so excited about this plum. It has just got so much fruit on it. This one I'm looking at, I'm not sure that's an apple. I don't know what that is. And then my cherry tree, to be honest, it doesn't appear to have a lot of fruit. I think the problem with cherries is the birds get in first. But they are growing nicely. We've had a lot of rain, and apparently it's going to be warm over the next week. So, step one of repointing completed today. I'm off visiting the friend who's providing the scaffolding. So we've erected that, moved all those today. They're going to be coming to mine. We'll get that repointing done. So it's tea time, and I have my second power cut in about 2 months. So what, I'm batting about one a month. So fortunately I do have a gas cooker, and if you remember, I was left loads of gas bottles. I think I've connected that one correctly. I'm smelling gas, so I think there's gas in it. But when, see, that gas ring is on full. That's not doing anything. So it's frustrating. I don't know, A, have I set it up correctly? B, is there gas in the gas canister? C, does the oven work? And I've got rice and dumplings waiting to be consumed in a freezer that's thawing. Hasn't been off for long, but really I would like to get this resolved because, you know, it's a good backup. It wasn't a power cut, it was me. The kettle was broken and tripped the switch. I thought off was on, so I did an hour with electric, but figured it out eventually. However, I didn't figure out the gas, and I need to do that. It is a good backup. So that's a job for another day, but for now, rice and dumplings. And that's the orchard done. The orchard is starting to get interesting. Do you know, I seem to have more plums than I do apples, which I didn't think or expect to be the case. It's going to be interesting in a couple of months' time when I start trying to use this fruit. Plum wine, definitely. That sounds interesting. Apples probably more in the kitchen. I don't think I'm going to do an apple wine, and I don't think I'll have enough apples for cider by a long chalk. Although I know my neighbour has said to me she wants to swap some of sorry, she wants some of my plums in exchange for some of her apples. So we'll see what that brings. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it there for this week. Thanks very much for watching. Been another good week. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope it was entertaining. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. As always, if you want to support the channel, feel free to buy me a coffee. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.